So it's been a week of me using this Hongdian fountain pen, and let me just say, you guys, I love this pen. I love this pen. Oh, dare I say, a little bit more than my Twisbies. Oh my gosh, I know. I am shocked. Let me share with you my first impressions. And this is such a smooth writer. And what really caught me by surprise, which I didn't think was going to be a big deal, but now I'm recognizing just the little details make the biggest differences, is this grip section. Okay, let me share with you my thoughts. Okay, this is the pen, the Hongdian N12 Piston fountain pen. These are my first impressions. I have a fine nib using the Jacques Urban ink, and it is in the Amethyst de L'Oral. And on this paper, this is the Good Ink Impressions Tomei River paper. I knew this ink wasn't going to come out too bright, which is fine. That's exactly what I wanted when I was inking this up, because, oops, let me not share that just yet. My ink log, I was going through all my samples that I had, and of course, I like to play matchy-matchy right now in this season of my fountain pen game. And I went through my samples that I recently acquired from Truffet. I would have inked it with this one, the Poussière de Lune, but I sold it. And my newest sample, it's interesting because it's another J. Arbonne. It's just slightly brighter. And I'm like, I could have just stuck with the Poussière de Lune. I have some ink swatch cards coming, by the way, so I don't have to keep doing this. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. I skipped it. Okay. So this is coming out like a very cold purple. And when I wrote with this using the glass nib and my Twisby fine, this was ideal for me because my notes, I put like this shade is not too bright where it's like boom in your face, like a fluorescence purple, but it's not too dark where it looks like a black. Let me show you how it looks. Just kind of doing a little ink swatch. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me contain my thoughts for this video. Okay, we're gonna scribble. So that's how it looks. My first impressions, my notes. Grip section. That was the very first impression I had. I mean, other than seeing it out of the box and looking at this color, I was not looking for this pen. I was on Amazon, which is, dangerous, because I was actually looking for a new pen case for my gin house and all these pens that I've acquired. So I got a new pen case, which I'll show in another video. I need to do an updated pen collection, but anyway, this came up. Things you may like, Michelle. And of course, this color, wow, it just grabbed me. When it came, I was sold. When I opened it up and I just held it in my hand, I could not believe it. The girth, I think that's what it is. It's just like the perfect size. And I put here, is it almost perfect? Because I do like it better than my Twisbies. Gasp. How do I know? Because I find myself reaching for this over my Twisby. That's how I know. Whenever I have some type of long form writing, like a journal entry, or this week I was packing I was packing snail mail orders. I was writing, like thank you notes. Normally I would use like my Twisbies, but nope, I was reaching for this Hongdian. So that's how I know I like it more, whichever I'm reaching for. Now I still do love my gin house, but my gin house these are really great for just like little jotters, quick sentences, little errands, on the go, click and go. Oh, oops. Okay, I don't know where I left off because I actually got a phone call right in the middle of this video. But my gin house, yeah. So I do enjoy using my gin house pens. Oh, and this is a Pilot. But for just like, errands, little sentences here and there. So anyway, I just found myself always reaching for this when it came to like long form entries. And the reason why is the smooth nib. It writes so smooth. Now keep in mind, if you are new to my channel, or if you're just coming upon this little amateur review, I'm not a fountain pen like professional. I am still new. I consider myself a newbie. Why? Because yes, you may see, some TWSBIs here and there, but I am still new in terms of like other brands. I'm not familiar with writing with other brands really outside of TWSBIs. Okay. So I'm kind of, I guess, biased. It's kind of like saying, you like chocolate ice cream, but you can't consider yourself a professional ice cream reviewer because you haven't tried like cookie dough or Rocky Road or vanilla swirl, right? So that's kind of how I am. It's like, okay, I know I like ice cream, I like fountain pens, I like the TWSBI, but I am not familiar with other brands, other types of nibs, real gold nibs. Like I am not well versed in other styles to form a solid professional opinion. So when I say it's a smooth nib, for me, it's just going off of like a newbie's impression. Smooth as in it does not give me any troubles. It just glides on the page. There's no resistance. The ink flows very well, very juicy. And this is, being that it's a fine nib, I know that when it comes to these Chinese made fountain pens, their fine really leans more medium, and their extra fine leans more fine. So kind of keep that in mind. For now, they only have extra fine and fine, which I'm glad I got the fine, because had I got the medium, it would have been more bold, I'm pretty sure. This ink is again in the J. Herbin, and in my experience, that ink, J. Herbin ink really comes out, I don't want to say it's dry, but that ink typically, for me, it's in the middle. It can be dry in certain pens, like extra fine pens, but surprisingly, this came out pretty wet. So it's a smooth writing experience. You know what? It writes just like my TWSBIs. I much prefer actually this fine over my Iris TWSBI fine. Now, again, this is, a different brand, so I'm sure that the TWSBI is slightly different. And this is actually inked with the same ink, J. Herbin, the amethyst. So let me go ahead and show you right here. This is my earful notebook. Thank you guys for recommending this, by the way. It's 75 GSM, and it shows up beautifully with your, colors of fountain pens. All right, so let me get to a new page. I'm just going to compare this with the TWSBI so you can see it up close. I'll just do it here on the bottom. Okay, I'm holding it up close to the light so you can see it. So this is the fine and the TWSBI. Excuse the noise. Landscapers are here for my neighbor. All right, and then let's go ahead and use this one, the Hongdian in the fine. I don't know if you can tell, it comes off slightly, like just ever so slightly bolder with the lines. It's not that much of a difference, but it's definitely noticeable, especially when you see like the squigglies here. Yeah, so I can see the difference, and I can definitely feel the difference as well. All right, and what else did I write here? Oh yeah, so it is very ideal for my larger handwriting. If you have smaller handwriting, I think, the extra fine would be more suitable, but again, it'll come out more like a fine. But of course, it all depends, as we know, the ink brand that you use. Oh, right here I made a note to do a sample demo, but I just did it in my earful. But just to do a little sample here. Oh, this nib. Okay, it's more of a external preference, but I love the gold details, the gold nib, the gold trimming here. And wow, this nib, it's very while it looks big, I find that it's very perfect and fitting for this body shape. And I'll compare it to the TWSBI right now. I did not have any hard start. I did not have any, skipping. I did not have a hard time getting this to write when I first got this pen. And every time I pick it up, it just writes right away. When, let me compare it now to the TWSBI. Oh, let me also show you the grip section. Okay, so you can see right here, with the TWSBI, it's still a comfortable grip and the threading does not get in the way. But you could clearly see how the Hongdian is thicker. And then when I turn it this way, you can definitely see that this is rounder, like it's bigger. I thought with my small hands that maybe I would prefer, it's still comfortable, but now that I'm so used to like the girth of this, when I reach for this, it feels like I don't know, it feels like my hands are like, ooh, trying to grasp it, get a hold of it, because now it feels so skinny. It feels so slim. But back to the nib sizes, you can see that this is bigger than that. And then if we compare the body shape, I would say the TWSBI iris, looks slightly larger, but not that much. I don't post this pen. While you can, it adds a little bit of weight where it feels like I want to like topple over. So that's what I mean. Like this is still like a perfect size where I don't need to post it. I can write just like this. And let me see, what else did I write here? I did not think that I was going to love this pen. How many times can I say I love it? I love it. I love it. Oh, that was another thing too. I remembered my first impressions was also that the twist, the cap, I don't know if there's a proper term for it, but I just put, it's a short twist cap, meaning it's quick to close. And what I mean by that is when I'm done writing and I put the cap on, it's really just one turn. Like it's sealed. That's it. It's just one turn. Like, yeah, one turn. And I think with my TWSBIs, is it just one turn as well? It's like one and a half turns. And then I had like my newest Benu, and geez, that was like 4 or 5 turns. So I was really surprised, like, wow, it just snap. It just feels like a boop, boop, turn, lock, go. And then I also noted, oh yeah, this is a great introduction to the real pen. Now, you know what I mean by that, right? We all know that these pens, like the Hongdians and the Jinhaos and Asvine, they are imitations, or they are inspirations or dupes of other name brand pens. And I just did a quick Google search, asking what is this comparable to, and I think it's like a Pelican. I don't know exactly which Pelican it is, but I'm going to do a deep dive later, because I still want to enjoy this pen. I don't want to ooh and ah over the Pelican, because I know myself. Now that I've experienced this, and if I'm wrong, if it's not the Pelican, please correct me, let me know, because I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know if anyone has, the real pen that this is inspired by. Are the features similar? Like, does this pen, it doesn't have to close one time, but is the grip section the same, where it almost kind of, I don't want to say it's like the same shape, but I find it to be pretty like well symmetrical. Like right here it's thick, and then it kind of goes a little bit to a slight point, and then right here it goes to like, a slight point into the grip, and the threading is not uncomfortable. The step down is like barely, it's just like little beep, little ridge there. And that's one thing that I've noticed about myself in this fountain pen journey, is experimenting with different brands and models and makers to see what you really like when it comes to a writing tool. And that was another pro that I liked about this, was because for me, how did this ink come out here? Yikes. Okay, for me, this is a great introduction to whatever the real brand is. And this I got for, I think like 20, maybe like $25 on Amazon because I get Prime and it comes in like 2 days. Now you can't get these on like eBay or AliExpress. You can go directly through the wholesale AliExpress and get them for maybe like $10 if you're a new member, $15, but either way under $30. And I think that's pretty good. The only con that I could think of was that I just wish it came in more colors. Like I would love to see this in maybe a marbled black with gold accents. They have a white, or like a maybe like some type of all gold or some type of brown or tan. Yeah, but it's okay. I'm going to enjoy this purple, and I do like that it has this black accent here on the top because I can actually just use this with black ink. Oh, here are the other little details. This has like a little bird with like a little twig or a little leaf in its beak here, and the gold clip. So here's another closer look at it. And I think experiment with size, get familiar. Yeah, I think that, oh yeah, and then my other notes, I just put some other inks that I think would look really well, which I do want to maybe look into getting samples of. By Dye Mine, I saw the Majestic Purple would look beautiful with this, the Lavender ink would look beautiful, and the Imperial Purple would look, I think, Chef's Kiss beautiful with this. But again, I'm still happy with the J Herbin, which is what I've been writing with these notes, because I can use this more like on an everyday basis. It's not, again, too bright in my face, but it's still subtle enough where I could tell it's not a black. This is like a purple black. This is like the perfect purple black. You know that it's like a dark grape color. So yeah, I've been using this for a week. I love it. I would recommend it for all the reasons that I shared with you today. And I need to do an updated fountain pen collection because, yeah, just because it has grown. I keep telling myself this is gonna be the last one. This is gonna be the last one. But you guys, these are again so budget friendly, at least for me. Like $25. Yeah, I have been using this for like a week now. And I definitely got my money's worth, I think, and this experience. Okay, so the TWSBI, right? Now, what I loved about the TWSBIs, and that I still do, is the clear piston. Oh, this is, yeah, well, it says it in the name. It's a piston filler. So you don't need any cartridges. The only thing is you can't see like how much ink you have left, but it's really easy to fill. You just twist this and the instructions tell you. By the way, this is the box that it came with. Very basic. It reminds me of the Jinhao, which makes me think maybe they're the same company. Gosh, this purple ink is irritating me now. But it just came in this box with like a plastic wrapper in here. So very easy, simple. And yeah, I'm going to do an updated fountain pen collection because it has definitely grown. I may do a separate Jinhao like update because a lot of you guys are asking if I'm still enjoying it. Do I have problems? Have they dried up? And no, they have not. Surprisingly, none of them, give me any problems. Now, the coffee one, I will say that there have been a few instances. Hold on, let me grab a pen here, or a pencil, or paper. There have been a few instances where it will, let me just use this one, have like a little bit of a hard start, but what is that? That's the thing too, like you see that little beading? I've never experienced that before. Okay, see how right now the ink is taking a while to come out? All I have to do is just, hold on, press hard and it'll come out. Okay, like that. The thing is, my other ones don't do that, and I'm starting to think maybe it's the ink brand. Okay, I think, do I still have this one filled? Hold on, let me see. Oh no, wait, hold on, let me make sure. Maybe this one's empty. Yeah, I think this is the one that needs to be changed out. Okay, this one doesn't count. But I haven't had any troubles with them, like, so far, like, knock on wood. The Pilot, this one, yeah, this one always writes. But, okay, back to this one. You saw how I just scribble and it'll go. See, now it's fine. But I think it's the ink, the Alchemy. This is the Alchemy brand. And I noticed that every time, like the next day when I want to use it, it has that little beading on the nib and the ink kind of crusts like on the point, as you saw. So I don't know. I looked to see where it was made and I saw it was made in India, and a few of you were saying that with Indian ink, that like inks made in India, it tends to do that. So now I'm afraid to keep this ink in here. But I do use this on like a daily basis, so it's not like sitting here getting clogged up. But yeah, this is the Molten Bronze. And I find that it fits this caramel orange beautifully. But again, it could also be the Jinhao. Now this one hasn't dried up, even though I don't use it all the time, but I do have it inked with the Pilot ink. The Sungyo. And this fine writes like a nice, perfect, smooth, crisp fine. Was that all I needed to share? Oh, let me show you on my ink log. And I jokingly say that, you know, I'm going to enjoy my Hongdian N12, but I don't want to, but I'm curious to know, what is this a replica of, because I like this. And yeah, better. Oh, back to my TWSBI. Yeah, I do like it a little bit more than my TWSBIs, and it's light, it's budget friendly. This is my Diamond 580. This will retail you like $80. So if someone were to ask me, hey Michelle, can you recommend something that writes just as well and smooth, and that's not a cap, you know, like a retractable, like a Jinhao, I would recommend the Hongdian. Yeah, if you're looking for like a smooth writer, you write a lot, and you like medium nibs, get this. The fine nib, you can only have two. There's only extra fine and fine. Get the Hongdian. I'll link it down below for you, but definitely smooth. Reminds me of my medium TWSBI that I like to write with. This is in the Cafe Crema, but look at the nib. You can see how much smaller it is. Okay, this video is getting too long now. Now I'm just rambling, but I like how big this nib is. Anyway, let me show you my ink log real quick if you wanted to see that Molten Bronze for the Alchemy brand. The thing is, when it comes to like the crusting part on the nib, it doesn't do that with my Pilot Kakuno, because I do have that inked in. I have Wizard's pencil, that's the same brand, and my Pilot Kakuno does not do that. It doesn't hard start, it doesn't get that little gunk on the nib, so it could be the Jinhao. And this is the Molten Bronze. It doesn't look as light as it came out during the swatch. At first it did a little bit because I was using a cartridge, and then I actually like just did a fill, and it came out really dark. And do you guys notice the difference? Like, does the ink flow differently when you have it in a cartridge versus actually using the converter? I'm curious to know if that is a thing, because that would be fun, because then you can experiment with like both shades. Here, this is where I just cleaned it out, and you could see I was testing it, and this was with the cartridge, and then this is when I actually just dipped the converter in. So that's the Molten Bronze. This is how it really looks. It's like a dark chocolate brown, like a brownie. And yeah, I'll catch you guys up on my other Raven Blue, and oh, this is the Alchemy and Smokescreen. This is Robert Oster. Yeah, I'm enjoying that too in my Jinhao 82. My other Jinhaos, the 82, the small ones, those don't ever give me a hard start. So yeah, it could be a capless, this one, the retractable, but my other ones, like my black ones, I never have a hard time. But again, those are always inked with wet inks, like Noodler's Heart of Darkness, and I've used the Pilot cartridges, and I find that Pilot inks are kind of like wet. So it could be either this brand of ink or a combination of me letting it sit around for a day or two because I've been enjoying this. But okay, enough yapping. I'll see you guys in the next video.